Hi, this is Ushin, and welcome to the Climax Group podcast. We'll be going through the Weiss Schwarz card of the days between February 2nd to February 6th of 2015. And joined here with me today is Busan. And first off, we will start out with Terraformers. Member of Annex 1, Onizuka Keiji, 00 green, 1.5k. Modified and sports trait. When another modified character is played from your hand to your stage, you may look at the top card of the deck and return it to its original position. Brainstorm. Pay 1, place this card to rest. Turn the top 4 cards of your deck and place them in your rain room. For every climax amongst those cards, perform the following action once. Choose 1 card from your clock and return it to your hand. Then place the top card of your deck to your clock.
It's hard to judge how good this card could be. For all you know, this might be your only brainstorm.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not keeping track, but
right now there's no revealed brainstorm, so this is currently the only one.
It's bad. If this is the only choice, just run it. But it's bad.
It's not bad, but
I don't like the first ability, but another modified comes into play.
At least you get a free top check. The problem is you can't really do anything with it.
Yeah, you can't do anything with it. It's stupid.
No, but you can, at least you know what the top deck's going to be. That could be important for some decks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
Honestly, it's not that great of a card. The brainstorm is pretty nice, but the fact that it has rest itself means you cannot really spam this if you really had to.
So it sucks. And his art is shit at it too, so that's all I have to say.
It's probably standard art, honestly. At least it's a level 0, so that means it could be splashed to every deck if you have to.
Yeah.
It's probably your 2 gold card if you want a +1 brainstorm.
Next card, Peacock Mantis Shrimp. Onizuka Keiji, green, 1/0, 4.5k, modified and sports trait. When you have 2 or more other modified characters, this card gains 1k, and it has Clock Encore.
Now
this one's much better.
Oh, this one is actually pretty decent. Can't say much about Green's power right now, but it's a basically vanilla power with Clock Encore, so you can't go wrong with that really. That's not much to say about it. 55 vanilla power with Clock Encore. It's hard to say anything else about it until we see more cards.
Yeah, I'll be pretty good if Green has some high cost ability or really good high cost level 2 or level 3s. Then moving on. 2/1 boxer with a soft heart. Onizuka Keiji, green, 2/1, 8.5k, modified sports trait. It's a vanilla card. I personally don't like 2/1s. Yeah.
2/1s aren't bad. It's just not good.
I prefer stuff with 2 soul at level 2.
That costs a bit of stock, but yeah.
I know.
If you look at a 2/2, if you look at a 2/2, 2/9k is only 500 over a 2/1. So if you look at
extra soul, 2/2 has 2 souls.
Yeah, but sometimes that extra soul might kill you.
No,
and it's probably easier to just play a Climax and do the same thing.
Yeah, I know. But
it's vanilla. We can't say anything about it until we see cards that actually works with it.
I highly doubt
It's probably just there for vanilla, for flavor. It's probably there for flavor of the day. So we move on.
So the next character is someone who is much better than the previous one. At least Strong Will Michelle. 1/1 blue character, 6k, modified, and bug trait. This ability can only be activated once per turn. When you use Act, this gains 1.5k at the end of this turn. When this card declares an attack, go to Climax the first, which is a book. You may pay the cost, which is pay 1, ditch 1. If you do choose one of your opponent's cost 0 or lower characters, place it to the bottom of its owner's deck, and this gains 1k.
It's kind of meh. To be honest, it's kind of meh.
It's pretty meh.
It's kind of meh. The Climax combo is pretty good if you're trying to get rid of back row cards, but then you lost 2 cards to do it. You're losing 2 cards to make them lose 1 card. It depends on it really depends on the card, but
I don't like it. It's cost 0. Come on.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's costing you 1 stock and a hand just to get rid of that cost 0.
If it was a cost 1, okay, much better.
If it's a cost 1, I would say it's much better, but it's because it's cost 0. It's kind of like meh. It could target back row, but it's kind of it's really depend on your opponent's deck.
So if you want to play waifu build, this is the only time we run her Michelle, or you'd be like, nope, just don't put this in at all.
We didn't really talk about the first effect, but that first effect view just kind of feels like just a throw-in, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't seen any good acts
So yeah, that's the thing. We haven't seen
Yeah,
any
so-
decent acts, so we cannot say how good the first ability is outside of using counters on your
Yeah.
opponent's turn. So
And it doesn't have really. I don't know.
it doesn't even have its own act ability, so it can't activate its own activate its own
really
ability.
sucks.
So it's kind of combo.
I guess we'll move on. Dependable crew, Hizamara Akari. 1/1 red character for 5.5 and modified and bug trait. When your other modified characters decline attack, this gains 1,000 power to end this turn. When your opponent character goes from stand to rest, this gains 1.5 power until end of this turn.
The first card everyone compared to this to was Haruka from Iron Masters because it's the most dominant of this ability in the current meta. It's actually more similar to Yukiko from Persona 4. If we really compared those between those two, Yukiko would straight up lose because it does not have that first effect. It's just straight up when opponent goes from stand to rest against 1500. As a 1/1, it's actually not bad. It's pretty good as a defender, and because of its first ability, it's actually decent enough as a attacker too. It's also, since its name is Akari, it's also a good target for the 2/2 event.
You mean the husband build? Yeah, there you go.
It's actually a decent card. It's very level 1 bomb easily because at the moment there's no way to put this level 2. If we really want to compare this to the Iron Master Haruka version, I would still think the Haruka is better because it's cost 0. There's a big difference. There is a big difference. To play this as a defending card, you have to play 2, and to play 2, that would mean you had to at least get 2 stock.
2 stock. Yep.
The Haruka, like if you think about Haruka wise, it costs you nothing to play the card, and it costs your opponent stock resource just to kill the card. This one kind of requires you to use a little resource to do it, and if they have like I don't know level 1 suicide, then it costs them nothing. So if that's like the only real good comparison, if you want to compare Haruka as like a defending card, but if you look at it as an attacking card, Akari would straight up beat Haruka because Haruka just doesn't do well as an attacking card. Other than that, it's really depends on the deck for that second effect, to be honest. But yeah, I give it a above average. It's above average. I can't say it'll be staple yet though. So
I'll guess move on. Japanese bagworm moms. Hizamara Akari. Blue 1/1 3K modified and bug trait. During start of your opponent's attack phase, choose one of your modified characters. It gains 1.5 power until end of this turn. During start of your opponent's draw phase, you may pay the stated cost, which is pay 2. If you do, choose one of your opponent's level 2 or lower characters to stand and put it to rest. The combos.
Yeah, but if you look at it, it's gonna cost you 4 stock just to gain an extra 1500.
Hey, but this thing can last till level 2.
Start with, because it's the start of the opponent's draw phase, that means it can in fact affect draw phase change because it's on the start of your opponent's draw phase, your opponent must take priority.
Yeah.
So then once that's assuming depending on the change, because they only target level 2. The only most prominent level 2 change I could think of is the Mommy from Madoka.
Wait, putting it to rest doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because once you change it, it becomes a target again. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It can in fact hit draw phase changes. It also powers up the 1/1 Akari by like 15, so that makes it like 85 on the opponent's turn.
Yeah.
But that 2 stock cost just to rest 1 card seems kind of expensive. It might be more worth if you're like about to lose.
Well, yeah, I know, but the first effect is
it's decent as support. It really depends on your field.
If you're playing defensive wise, like
it's a good defense card. If you look at defensive wise, if you do the defendable crews and Japanese bagworm moth together, it's quite a high defense.
It can last to level 2.
I can see the lasted level 2, assuming no suicide has appeared. The first, but by itself, it's just not worth. I don't think.
Not by itself.
Not by itself. You probably have better supports.
Moving on, Officer Shurikichi Comanche, green character 1/0, 5k, modified and bug trait. When this card reverses its opponent in battle, and the Climax at the front line of war, which is a 2k1. You may return one card from your clock to your hand. If you do, place the top card of your deck to your clock. Bad.
If you want to look at it this way, it's Shimakaze for the clock.
Shimakaze.
No, Shimakaze from the clock. That really is the best way to look at it. It's the same thing almost. It's a +1 because it's a 2k1 soul, and you don't lose anything out of it because even if you reverse a card, you don't have anything in your clock. You don't take the damage because you have to actually take a card from your clock to actually take a damage.
Yeah, but there could be times where there's nothing.
It's a free plus. Well, it's true. That's true. Shimakaze will straight up.
And you're gonna take a damage anyways. So
no, you won't. You have to. You have to return. It says that you have to. If you return one card from your clock, and if you
may. I'm just saying if you do, it's. I generally don't like clock switchers because
it's a free. It's a free +1 no matter how you look at it. So you cannot go wrong with it. I think this card could be staple. I doubt it.
I doubt it either.
I mean, like, it's a decent card because it's 2k1. I don't see any real Climax combo cards you have to play outside maybe the level 3 Akri right now. So there's your red green right there. I mean, like, it's
red blue. What are you doing? Getting the husband deck wrong.
It's fine. You just play 3 colors. Just play 3 colors. It's not bad card. It's a good. I think it's a pretty good card for what it is. It's just no Shimakaze. Shimakaze is straight up better. This one grabs for the clock. You might not have a target, and if you do have a target, it might not be the card you want. But it's a free +1, so you probably take it anyways.
Guess I will move on. Member of Annex 1, Senjo Chronicle. It's green character 1/1, 6.5k, modified and animal trait. Act, discard the 1 modified character from your hand to your raid room. Reveal the top card of the deck. If that card is a modified character, this card gains the following ability until end of this turn. Continuous. When this card declares an attack, you may choose one of your opponent's backstage characters. That now becomes a defending character against this card's final attack.
Basically, back row attacking card. Not sure if it's worth because it's
Ilya. It's an Ilya that's a 1/1 instead of a 1/0.
At least has the power to do something about it. The problem is it costs you a stock and a hand. There is a way to check the top because of the brainstorm, so there's your option there. So it's not absolutely dead effect because you play this card, you check the top. If you like it, if it's a good target, and if you don't like a back row, just attack it.
And if it's a Climax, you could
just don't. Or if it's a Climax, you just brainstorm.
You can side or you can brainstorm or something.
It's hard to say. This is kind of a tech 1 maybe, tech 1 2. I think it's a tech. It's a tech. It's gonna be a tech card. It's not gonna be a staple for sure. The back row attacking does have its value because back row is sometimes absolutely annoying, and you cannot beat the front row. So your next best option is attack the back row. So honestly, it's not a bad card. It has the power to sustain itself.
6/5. So
there is a brainstorm that lets you check the top. There is a card that lets you check the top, so the ability isn't dead like all the time, or at least you won't be going in wild. So it's not bad. But it obviously it's not a staple card. So tech 1, tech 2.
Next card, Battle for Survival, Shokichi Comanche. Green character, level 0, cost 0, 3.5k power, modified and bug trait. When this card is played from your hand to your stage, place the top card of your deck to your raiding room. If that card is Climax, place this card to stock.
It's basically Risco from Idolmaster, the Idolmaster movie. If you remember that one, it's basically the same thing, 004k, except it's build the top 2. And it's basically the same effect, except it's build the top 2. So this one has a less chance of triggering. But that being said, sometimes you just want that stock.
Yep, sometimes.
It's not a bad card, honestly. I have played with Risco. Sometimes it hits, and when it hits, it's sometimes when I want it to hit. I mean, like, it's still resource. It's still resource, so of some type. You may lose an attack, but at least it's still a stock you gain out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it could change your turn 1 game. It could change it. It could easily
It could be
change
like,
it.
oh no, oops, no attackers.
But let's say let's say that Terraformers is has a pay one ditch one salvage, and you build a card that you want to salvage.
That sounds like a cockroach card.
Well, you know what I mean, right? Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad card. It's not a bad card. It's but due to a future card, we'll be talking about later. I think it's gonna be outshadowed pretty easily.
Guess we will move on to the prologue of Battle, Michelle. 2/1 red character, 1.5k, modified and bug trade. First off, I'm gonna say it's a 2.5k backup. The other ability is when you use this card backup, you pay the stated cost, which is pay 1 stock. If you do, choose the prologue of Battle Michelle from the rating room and return to your hand. So you could keep using backup if you have tons of stock.
Basically, because of its backup ability, that practically means you're picking up the same copy over and over again.
Yeah, if you have one copy in the rating room, just use it.
That's the thing. The cost to use the backup is to pay 1 and discard this card from your hand. And when you use the backup, you pick it back up.
The one would be after?
No, it wouldn't. You could remember the act ability happens first because you have to pay the cost, and then when you use the card's backup, you could pick it up. You could pick it up back up. People, you could correct me on this. This might be misruling on my end, but that's how I assumed it. So
no, I get it, because if you look at the first, this is when you use this card backup, so it'll be after. I assume it will work that way.
So basically, this backup recycles itself over and over again for the cost of less power, of course.
Yep. So
do remember this does in fact trigger anti-salvage.
Yep.
So you may have to be a little bit careful about that. If you're going against Kentai collection, I would not worry about it because soul on your opponent's turn is not gonna matter. Series unless they're playing like a card like Yubari, then you have to think about that a bit. Same thing for Dog Days because the plus 2k if you salvage a card. Just don't do it on Little Busters. You're just gonna lose a lot of cards.
Yeah.
Unless they're like playing unless they're playing
Twins,
like
I don't know.
not twins. They're playing twins too, but also Sasami. That you might consider it. In fact, yeah, it's a good card. Just be careful about anti-salvage when that happens.
Moving on. For the sake of the promise, Hizamaru Akari 0/0 blue character 2.5k, modified and bug trade during your opponent's turn. When your opponent has 3 characters or less, this card gains 1 level and 1.5k. So it's a 4k level 1 if your opponent has 3 or less characters.
That is a really good level 0 starter.
Yeah, this is Bushiroad loves Akari. What else can I say?
It's a really good card. That's why I said earlier about the Series 35 that would be outshadowed. This easily outshadows it because your opponent has to like dedicate a field just to reduce its power and its level if it matters.
Yeah, in most cases it will, and this reminds me of the Log Horizon. I forgot his name.
The guy that gains 2k, gains 2k for if you have 3 or less. This one say this one is better because
this one's better
because it gains a level,
but has 500 less power.
But honestly, 4k level 1 is pretty hard as it is. Sometimes that means you have to beat it by power.
And in most cases, other cards that do this are stuff like if this is the only character on the field, it's 4k level 1.
And this one isn't.
This one isn't. You can have a wall of this. Just ram if you wanted to.
The problem, though, if there is an issue with this only gains effect during your opponent's turn, so that means it is slightly vulnerable when you're attacking. But because it's level 0, the most likely be front row that you can attack into that is empty. So it's a good card. I can easily see this as a staple card. Easily, no matter what deck, I think. Especially if you're playing blue. Especially if you're playing blue.
Especially if you're playing husband. That's all I have to say.
I think you'll be playing this card anyway, so yeah. Good card. This is a very good card. I definitely recommend this in your deck.
Play 4 of always.
I'd say 3 of. Remember, they're all the beaters at level 0s.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Member of Annex 1, Eva, whatever. Yellow character 1/0, 5k, modified trait. When this card reverses his opponent in battle, and the Climax Desire Wish, which is a 2k1, is in your Climax Exploder, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for one Officer Adolf, and up to one modified character, search your opponent, add to your hand, and shuffle your deck. I forgot to say, the cost will be one stock, and send one of your characters on your stage here ready.
This is not bad, I would suppose. It could send itself, in fact. It didn't say it had to send another character.
Nope, it can send itself.
So just send off a card that is dead.
Yep.
Or
search
itself.
For two stuff.
One of them has to be a certain target, so this might be a break even. But the thing is, it'll always be at least a break even, so you cannot go wrong with that. If not, it would be +1 no matter what. Honestly, it's not bad. It's a 2k1, so that means it could be 107k. Could reverse something.
Yep.
Because you're killing one of your cards, depending on the card, maybe it's a card that will trigger on send to waiting room, or it's a card that you plan to have die.
Anyway.
Or the fact that you just don't want a card to be up on the field against like clock kickers. Or
it's something that gains markers.
Or cards that could gain markers. Yeah. It's not bad card, honestly. It's pretty. It really goes down to Officer Adolf, because that is one of its main. I can't say it's one of your targets that you kind of want to get. It's one of the targets you want to get. It's a card that lets you lead up to level 3.
Yeah, and I guess we'll talk about him right now. Officer Adolf, a yellow character, 3/2, 10k to soul, modified in electricity trait. When the damage this card deals is cancelled, this gains 2k until end of this turn. This ability can only be activated once per turn. During your turn, this card is played from your hand to your stage. When the damage this card is cancelled, you replace the top card of your deck to your Rainroom, then deal X damage to your opponent, where X is the level of that card +1. So it's a Musashi, pretty much.
Yeah, we're just can't call those Musashis because Musashi did have the first effect, and it's kind of lengthy in its text. Because the first effect isn't once per turn, it actually could gain 4k.
Oh wait, how? Oh wait, yeah, damage total. Okay, yeah, it could get 4k.
It could get 4k on the first attack. This could bait out This could also bait out counters.
Wow.
Because if you think about it, because the battle phase is attack step, attack, declare attack, and then counter, and then actual soul damage.
Yeah,
that means the opponent have to like counter ahead of time, and if they over countered or don't counter at all, they could lose a card.
Yep.
Like if they counter a card that they think they'll cancel, and then they don't cancel, and then they just lost a card.
Yep.
And if you decide not to counter on a card, and then you got double cancel, then you got on 4k for absolutely no reason, and then you kill the card.
I don't know, it's pretty interesting.
But other than that, it's not that good. I know Musashi's always Musashi is always good. The first effect isn't that great. It's out of your control. It's really in your opponent's control. So
the first effect is pretty mad, but the second effect is a game finisher, potential game finisher. So
you'll probably be playing this card and maybe Eva. I think you'll be playing Eva with this card anyways because it's a costless 2k1 soul Climax combo.
Yep.
That could +1, so you'll do it. You'll play both at the same time.
Moving on. Member of Annex 1 Isabella. Yellow character 00, 2.5k, modified and bug trait. On play, this gains 1.5k power to end of this turn. It's pretty common ability.
It's pretty common ability, so not much to say about it. Akri just straight up beat it, so we'll not even talk about this. It's just it's so common that no, we don't have to talk about this. We move on.
Yeah, this is from Milky Homes, and I believe it's a TD card.
It's a TD card.
Yep, the Kind Mother of Repentance. Blue event 1/1. Draw up to 2 cards. Discard 1 card from your hand to your Rainy Room, and choose one of your characters. It gains +3k power until end of this turn, and place this card to your clock.
Oh my god! Honestly, I think this is really bad.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I mean, like, it's a break even. Sure, you draw 2, you could discard a climax out of your hand. Yes, a card gains 3k, but then this card goes to clock.
Yeah, and it's not a counter either. So
And if it was a counter, I would like totally reconsider that.
yeah, it's not a counter. I'm like, no.
But if you think about it, if this was a counter, that's way too big of a power boost as a counter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, true.
If that was the case, it would be like plus
Well, there's
2k.
Right.
It'll be like
1.35.
it'll be like I think it'll be more like plus 2k if you give it all those abilities as a counter. But we're not talking about what it's not, what it isn't, and what it is. And right now, it is not that
Yeah.
great. It's not good. Just
And especially in a TD, if this is in the demo deck, I'm like, what are you teaching the new players? Such a terrible card. Just, I don't. Bushy Road, what are you doing?
it's not. It's honestly not a very good card. I don't even think I think everyone's going to be taking this event out if they're mixing TDs.
Please don't put this in the demo deck.
Nah, they're not going to listen to us. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, that's it actually. Yeah, apparently I saw. I think there's a new series coming out that was just announced. Puyo Puyo.
Buyo Buyo. Is that
Buyo.
what it's called?
Puyo Puyo Puyo.
Pio Pio. Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo.
I think
Google
I
search
it says-
right here. It's a series made by Compile and Sonic Team.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
joke series to me. Just
It
like
is a tile matching game. So if you play that, and I assume it's gonna, the newest version is probably like on mobile or something. Yeah, you would know.
But I wouldn't. So we so
Hey, it's on
basically.
Vita, too. It's on PS3. Oh my god.
Oh my god, seriously. Anyways, so that's it for announcements and new stuff that might be out.
And yeah. So rate, comment, subscribe, and if you think Akari is the best husband ever, you can comment down below. See you guys next time.